If your ex ruined Christmas, Thanksgiving, or a holiday exchange by breaking the parenting plan, keeping the kids, canceling last minute, or ignoring the court order, this video is for you. You are not dramatic, you are not powerless, and judges absolutely care about these things. Welcome back to Live Free Legal. Welcome back to Live Free Legal. I'm Tiffany Lesnik, family law attorney and legal coach for women navigating high conflict custody, divorce, and post separation abuse. Holidays are one of the most common and most painful times abusers escalate control. Today, I'm going to show you what to do legally and emotionally when the holidays are stolen by abusers. So, why does abuse escalate on holidays? Holidays are predictable, emotional, and meaningful. So, they're a prime opportunity for control. Abusive or high conflict parents often escalate because they want power over your joy. They resent traditions that don't center around them. And they know holidays create pressure and fear and can create chaos, which they thrive off of. This is not coincidence. Just like I said in the prior videos, this is strategy for them. So let's be very clear. Judges don't care about every disagreement, but they do care about court order violations, and particularly around special occasions like the holidays or birthdays. They care about refusing to return the children. They care about ignoring the exact holiday schedule language. They care about making last minute changes without agreement, or creating loopholes in the order or distorting the order in some way. They also really care about manipulating children with guilt or pressure. If it's written in the order and he ignores it, it's not a misunderstanding, it's non compliance with the court order. What are some of the biggest mistakes that mothers make? What hurts your case? This is where many loving, exhausted mothers accidentally hurt their case. The biggest mistake? Responding emotionally instead of strategically. Long text messages back to him, explaining your feelings to him, arguing facts, threatening consequences. I understand why, but the court system is going to reward clarity, not chaos. And quite honestly, he doesn't care. In fact, it's just the opposite. He doesn't care about your feelings. He doesn't care about your explanation. You can argue facts all day long till you're blue in the face. He's just going to ignore you. What he does care about is what he can do to you. So he cares that he's gotten you so upset. He cares that he's able to control you. And he knows he's able to control you because of how upset you're getting, because of those long text messages, because of how you're explaining your feelings, because you're arguing those facts, you're engaging with him, you are feeding him. So we do not want to do that, right? It's draining your energy. You're engaging with him emotionally, and it's taking a toll on you. It's consuming your energy. We don't want to allow the narcissist to consume our energy. We want to reserve that for ourselves, our children, and for the holidays, okay? This is exactly why I created Empower Her. Inside Empower Her, we teach you what to say, what not to say, and how to respond in high conflict moments without hurting your legal position. You get message templates, court ready scripts, and real time guidance so you're not guessing when emotions are high. So, how do you respond strategically? You need to respond like the judge is watching. The judge is always going to be your reader or your audience, not your abuser. You need to respond as if the judge is the person you're responding to, not him. So here's the rule. Every message should be written as if it will be read aloud in court, okay? When to respond? You want to respond once, you want to respond in writing, and you want to be calm and brief in your responses. Okay, a strong response sounds something like this. Per the court order, the children are to be returned today at 6 p.m. Please confirm. That's it. No emotion, no commentary, no debate. What not to say. Do not argue, accuse, threaten, diagnose, or beg. Absolutely don't diagnose. You have antisocial personality disorder. You have narcissistic personality disorder. You're a narcissist. You have borderline personality disorder. We do not want to do that. Don't send him copies of self help books for him to read that explain all about the personality disorder that he has. It is okay to be concerned about his mental health. And it is okay to say in a text message, I am very concerned about your mental health and that you're not taking accountability and you're not being responsible for your mental health by not seeing a therapist or not taking medication or not going to your psychiatrist. That is okay when it is appropriate. But that is not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about lecturing him and actually labeling or calling him names, right? If he actually has been diagnosed with a mental health condition, or if he has been acting really erratically in scary ways, it's okay, again, to be very factual in pointing that out and express your concern. Okay. That's different than what we're talking about here during the holidays. Your silence can be one of the most powerful weapons and messages. So, your silence after a clear, factual message often speaks louder than paragraphs of emotion. And Empower Her members have these do not send examples saved on their phones or computers. So, when emotions spike, they don't sabotage themselves. So, what can you do to legally protect yourself? You need to be preserving evidence during the holidays. So you have that later to file for contempt potentially in January after the holidays are over. So document everything. When a holiday violation happens, your job is not to panic, it is to document. So save screenshots of text messages or parenting app messages. Save mixed exchange times. So whether you can take a screenshot of that or you journal it or you put it on a calendar or you note it in our family wizard. Take photos of you waiting at the exchange. Maybe go into a gas station where you do your exchanges or McDonald's or wherever you do your exchanges, buy something that has the receipt and a timestamp on that receipt so you can document that you were there. Okay. Police incident numbers if officers were called. Make sure you get the name of the officer, their card, and then a police incident number if officers were involved. Okay, just a simple timeline of what occurred. You are going to forget the details of what occurred. Make sure you're writing these things down. Judges decide cases on patterns, not isolated incidents. So if you're establishing that there's a pattern that's occurring over time and these things are happening repeatedly, that may help you be able to file a motion to modify custody later on that might significantly change the amount of custodial time, physical time that he has with your children. So inside Empower Her, we also provide evidence folder checklists, screenshot guides. We also provide January filing prep tools, legal guides, templates, so nothing gets lost or minimized. So when is law enforcement appropriate? If you have a court order, okay, if you have a parenting agreement, private contract, law enforcement's usually not going to do anything. But if you have a court order in place, you may be able to call law enforcement. Now, I generally don't think it's a good idea because I don't think it's good to have the children exposed to law enforcement. I think that can be traumatic for them. However, it may be appropriate to contact law enforcement if a child is not returned or there's a safety issue. You feel like your safety is in jeopardy, a child's safety is in jeopardy. Maybe he is inebriated. He shows up to an exchange and there's something just off. You believe maybe he's been consuming alcohol and you don't want your child to get into a car with him, or maybe there's some other inebriating substance. If he's not responding, he's missed an exchange, you can't get in touch with your child. You cannot get in touch with him. Calling law enforcement to do welfare check may be appropriate in some circumstances. Take it on a case-by-case basis, but certainly would not recommend calling law enforcement frequently. Judges do not like that. But if something just really doesn't feel right in your gut and you're not in the habit of calling law enforcement regularly, they may be an appropriate avenue for you to take. Okay. This also helps protect the record. So you call them, you'll have a report that you can use in court later if you need to. This is something we do walk through step by step inside my Live Free legal coaching groups because these decisions are nuanced and deeply personal. So we need to be calling law enforcement in particular situations. So we walk you through how to do that. If you're thinking January is coming and I don't know what to file or how to frame this, that's exactly what we do in the Live Free Legal Winter Coaching Groups, which will be starting soon. If you look at the link below or the description below, you can click on the link to learn more information or to sign up for the wait list for the coaching groups. We work together to build your timeline, organize your evidence, prepare enforcement or modification strategies, and walk into court prepared, not panicked. While he might be violating court orders during the holidays in November and December, January is accountability season. Holiday behavior doesn't disappear, it shows up in January courtrooms. So you can absolutely file a motion for contempt or a motion to show cause if he's violating the court orders. And these guys are bullies, right? They are going to see what they can get away with. And the more you let them get away with violating the court order, the more they're going to do it. So, as uncomfortable and as inconvenient as it can seem to you at times, you do need to stand up to him and you do need to enforce the order, especially if he has severely violated the court order. He's taken your holiday time from you. Then you need to think about filing a motion for contempt in January or after the holidays are over. Okay. You can make requests like make up for parenting time that was lost. You can ask for attorney's fees. You can ask for modification of custody. You can even ask for jail time, that he has some pretty significant consequences for the choices that he made. But for his behavior, you would not be in the position that you were in. You would not have missed out on your traditions. You would not have missed out on that lovely time with your children during the holidays. There are consequences for our choices, and we have to hold them to those consequences and for their choices. And over time, if we continue to enforce our court orders and to ensure that there are consequences for their bad decisions, their behaviors will likely decrease. They will stop pushing those buttons because they don't want to go to jail. They don't want to continue to have those consequences. They know they're not going to continue to get away with it. Okay, so frame your case with the timeline that's going to show patterns, predictability, and also the impact on the children, right? Don't be playing his games. You want to minimize any negative impact on the children. Let him be the one that plays the games during the holidays. Don't you get involved in the game playing during the holidays as well. Let him create that record of hostility and game playing so that when the holidays are over, you can use that against him. Okay, if your holiday was taken from you, let me say this clearly. You did not fail as a mother. Your love is not measured by a calendar date. For your children, this isn't how we hoped the holiday would go or that day would go, but you are still safe, connected, and loved. For your children, you can say something like, this isn't how we hoped today would go, but we are still safe, connected, and you are still loved. For you, grieve it, don't minimize it. Abuse stills moments, and grief is a normal response. Legal strategy matters, but so does emotional safety. Inside both Empower Her and my coaching groups, we talk about helping children process disrupted holidays, managing grief without shame, reclaiming meaning even when plans collapse. Remember Psalm 147:3. The scripture reminds us God heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. God sees the holidays you cried through. He sees what was taken, and restoration is still possible. He is a great restorer. So here's how you can take your power back. Create holiday exchange message script. What does that mean, right? Pre-draft some responses that you can send to him that, again, are factual and brief, right? That don't get into it with him, so that when he sends you a message and you panic, you'll have something very brief and factual and polite that you can send to him that will be pleasing to the court. Okay. Save violations in one evidence folder or binder or box, whatever it might be, so that you're documenting and you can feel proactive and good about the fact that you're not doing just nothing over the holidays when he's violating that order. Start drafting an outline for a motion for contempt or a motion to modify while things are fresh in your mind as it's happening or right after it's happened. Start drafting that motion or those sentences that'll go into a motion. Be proactive. And if you need guidance, that's exactly what we do inside Live Free Legal. You are not alone. If this helped you, like us, subscribe, and share it with another mother who needs it. Comment yes if holidays with your ex feel hostile. Stolen holidays do not define your motherhood. You are prepared, you are protected, and you are not alone. We will see you next week, Tuesday at 7 p.m., as we have a webcast every single week. We will see you back here next week. Can't wait to see you then.